What's going on, guys? This is Miasin. I finally just got back home from YCS Philadelphia. I actually had to drive back home like 10 hours yesterday. So I'm dead tired right now, and it's actually 4:30 p.m. as I'm making this video. And basically, I actually managed to top the YCS with a very interesting deck. I'm not going to spoil anything right now. I will be uploading a deck profile maybe today, later on tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm not sure yet. It depends on how much energy I have because, again, I'm dead tired. Anyways, they actually, for some reason, dropped a ban list midway through, like, the day Saturday, like, around 2 during the YCS. I was like, what the heck is this? Some guy was like, yo, the ban list is out. I'm like, that's a good one. And the ban list was actually out, so it wasn't a joke. But who knows, maybe this ban list is actually more of a joke than anything else. So before anything starts, I will be saying this is not like a live reaction or anything because I actually already know what the ban list is about. But rather, this is going to be a discussion video. Anyways, before this video starts, make sure you like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch and Instagram. You already know the drill, and now let's get right into it. For the bans, Cyberstein got banned, used to be limited. It makes sense that it gets banned because it is searchable by Gear Gigant X, and then you can special summon it from the hand using Platinum Gadget, and then you pay 5k. Summon the Tree Exterio, and then it's a level 2. Platinum Gadget is also level 2, so you can go into Gigantic, summon the Sprite monsters, and play from there. So it actually had to get banned preemptively because otherwise the Super Heavy Samurai package would have been way too broken. Because now it is no longer playable as a deck. The Scarecrow got banned. So the pure deck is complete garbage because Soul Piercer, yeah, it used to be like a super broken one-card combo that could actually play through an Ash, but now it's actually really bad. Yeah, no longer really playable or worth playing as a deck, but again, the engine might still be good. The only issue is that you're gonna have to play a lot of really awkward cards if you want to make it work, because of course if you're only playing it as an engine, then you have less starters, but you also have like your Garnets and stuff like that. So like Prodigy Wakoshi, or like a Soul Gaia booster, the Samurai Head or something, level 4 extender. So a lot of cards become bricks out of nowhere if you're playing a really small amount of Super Heavy Samurai cards, and you have to always start with them and not really extend with them because you can only really use them if you have no spells and traps in your grave, so you can also not play Imperm if you play them as an engine, which really sucks. Anyways, a long-awaited ban. We really needed this one. Number 89, Diablos is the Mind Hacker. Thank you so much, because this card was extremely annoying. Basically, because of that, you always had to, care about Shangri-La, locking your zones and everything. And also, you had to play like 2 copies of everything in your extra deck. Really, really infuriating. This card really made Kashtira way more unhealthy than it really had to be. And I'm really happy to see Diablos is getting banned. The deck is still playable, absolutely, but the playstyle is going to change completely. It's no longer going to be like a somewhat of a mid-range to combo-oriented deck, even though it's not really a combo deck, it's a mid-range deck. But it used to kind of lose to Nibiru if you really wanted to be greedy and go for the full board. Now the deck literally cannot lose to Nibiru, even if you try, because all you can really do now is a Rise Hard Pass. Nothing else is worth it. I can guarantee you that. If you have Unicorn, you don't do anything else. You just go Rise Hard Pass. And I want to say the Kashtira cards are still, of course, really good to play as an engine. Maybe less as a deck, but still really good. Can't complain. And a pointer of the Red Lotus is now banned as well. Very interesting, but again, makes sense. It was a searchable quote-unquote one-of thanks to triple tactic tasking. And this card was with a Rise Hard was really unfair. And finally, Branded Expulsion finally getting banned. Again, not enough, which is funny because it's such a broken card, but at the same time, it's just not really what we asked for. So now you might be thinking, why not ban Gimmick Puppet Nightmare? It's irrelevant, because if you ban Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, then people are gonna say, okay, well, why not also ban DD Orthros? But then, because it's pretty much the exact same, like, instead of locking your opponent from, like, Gimmick Puppets, it logs them from, like, only summoning, like, Fiend or DDD monsters. You can kind of access these monsters anyways without Branded Expulsion because of Albion the Sanctifier Dragon, which is the fusion monster that allows you to summon one monster from, your graveyard on either, on both players' field. So you obviously summon 2 monsters, one on your board, one on your opponent's board, and you need a light spellcaster for that. And Jalgan the Spiritualist just happens to be a light spellcaster, so you can easily triple this card out with only one single card. But if you want to be a little more greedy, you can maybe use some shenanigans with Grand Guignol and kind of get you there by sending the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare from your deck to the graveyard just like that. So definitely very possible to do the exact same combos in Despia than before without Branded Expulsion. You really do not need this card whatsoever in order to do unfair things. And that's why I said that this is not enough, even though it's really good, and this card is broken simply because there is an easy substitute for it. Yes, by the way, I am really tired in case you couldn't tell. Anyways, for the newly limited cards, we have Last Year Dragon Ruler of Infernos. This is the kind of card that everybody and their mother could predict because, you know, this card sucks. It's the worst one out of the 4, you know, Dragon Ruler monsters, so it really doesn't matter. Nobody is gonna care about this card whatsoever. It's not a good card. The Dragon Rulers are all very bad cards. You can call me crazy, but I think all of them can come back to 3, and it will change absolutely less than nothing. You know, people are still stuck in the same mindset as they were back in the days in like 2013, when they were like, oh, well, Dragon Rulers are tier 0, while they used to be tier 0, kind of quote-unquote because of spellbooks. But, you know, it's not because they used to be tier 0 that they will still be tier 0 if you unban them today, because this format is completely different, and, you know, the Dragon Rulers, they get stomped by, like, rogue decks now. It's not even like you can say that summoning Draco Sacred 1 and setting, like, a Regeki Break is good. It does nothing, my man. Nothing at all. And even if you splash them in, like, Dragon Link, they still do fuck all. Nobody's gonna care. Anyways, one thing that people, I think, will maybe potentially care, myself is somewhat included, is Mathmech Circular. There's a reason why I say that. Again, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But yeah, Mathmech Circular, I'm going to be making pretty much a full video on that one because I have a lot to say about Mathmech. Basically, you still have like billions of ways to search Circular. You still have 3 Sign and Mining, 3 Small World, and you have your Alambertian that can also search Circular, so it really doesn't matter that much, honestly. This is... Anyway, Cyframe Gear Gamma getting limited is honestly the same as banning it, because you're not going to be playing 1 Gamma. Stop the cap. You're not going to be doing that. So yeah, it's pretty much unplayable now. Okay, yeah, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. Unlike Blaster, this actually does matter. Danglong getting unbanned is really, really scary. Like, very, very terrifying, because nothing good can come out of it. It can surge these 9 pillars of the Yang Zing. That card's insane. It can negate pretty much anything, and then you destroy your monster, and then obviously you're gonna be getting back your Chiwin from the grave. You can summon the Bian off of Danglong or the Suwani, and then you can quick sync into Herald of Arclight, and that gets you an undestructible macrocosmos, well, undestructible by battle, kind of macrocosmos omni-negate monster. So that's really, really terrifying. Obviously, it doesn't banish anything that's sent from the field to the graveyard, only from hand and deck to the graveyard. But under Herald of Arclight, you also dodge, you know, Jewel, Veiler, and stuff like that. So really interesting, actually. Very good card. It is, you know, two-sided, but it doesn't really matter too much. Sometimes, I do remember in the Adamantipator deck, they used to summon Herald of the Arclight very early, so that even if their opponent had, like, you know, a bunch of Veilers, it would do absolutely less than nothing. But yeah, Danglong is really scary. I'm not looking forward to see what people can do with Danglong. Some people are actually theorizing with, you know, splashing this card, or rather like an engine in Sword Soul. This might work. I actually will have to test, but you, again, do have to play bricks in order to make Danglong really, really good. Otherwise, Danglong is kind of fair, but again, it depends. The more bricks you play, the better this card is. Honestly, that's the best way for me to put it. Kashtira Riseheart getting limited is pretty big, because Riseheart is the best card in the Kashtira deck. Obviously, it's basically a custom card. This card does only unfair things and unreasonable things, but getting limited means that if you can out it once, they can't really do anything after that, because they can't really revive it back with any... Well, they can revive it back with preparations, the continuous trap card, if I recall correctly. But that's about it. There's really no... they can recycle it back from the banish to the hand with Theosis, but again, it's kind of still really big. So I appreciate that, but it's not really that, you know, as important as that Diablos is getting banned. That's way bigger. And Purely Delicious Memory getting limited is absolutely disgusting. I was gonna say delicious. The Purely deck is way worse than it used to be, because if you only have 1 copy of a spell, you can't search it with My Friend Purely consistently. Now it becomes RNG, and you might get really unlucky. And by the way, Delicious Memory is in fact the best one out of the 4, because it is the one that gets you to Plump, and Plump gets you the spells and traps from, well, the spells, spells and traps actually, from the graveyard underneath as materials, so that you can summon Expurely Noir way easier. But without, you know, a lot of copies of Delicious Memory, good luck getting there. It's gonna be really, really, really rough. So definitely hurts a lot, and obviously with only 10 spells, the deck is slightly less consistent, but it's not, you know, that impactful, because Purely is actually a very, very consistent deck. Every single spell card in your deck is pretty much like a 1-for-1. Really cool deck. Anyways, Natura Sacred Tree getting limited. I'm not gonna pretend like this is small. The Naturia deck is 1,000,000,000% unplayable with only 1 copy of this card, because you run out of gas in 2 seconds in that deck, even with 3 copies of Sacred Chi. So with only 1 copy, you're not gonna be doing anything. It's really just you summon Natura Beast, you summon like your whatever your small little monsters that you summon with Mole Cricket on your opponent's turn, and then that's it. Like, that's really, there's nothing else. So once you do that, it's not like you can still keep generating advantage over and over. Like, what are you gonna do? Camellia send like a monster from the deck to the graveyard? Nobody cares. And then Blessing, you're not gonna be able to search it really easily anymore because, again, you can only send Sacred Tree from the deck to the grave once, and then after that, you know, that's it. So yeah, really, really huge. Anyways, for the semi-limits, we got Herald of Orange Light, which used to be limited. I don't know why, like, nobody cares. Kashtira Unicorn from 3 to 2, whatever. Lightning Storm, that's really weird. A Runic Fountain from 3 to 2, this is so small, like, literally changes nothing, like, who cares? Engage, oh my god, from 1 to 2, this is so massive. I really like that. I'm honestly really happy for Brandish because I like this deck a lot. I'm a big fan. Honestly, I think I would actually be really down to play that deck. Engage going from 1 to 2 is also one of the best things that it could have gotten. And I actually predicted that, by the way, because we got the exact same thing happen in the OCG and in Master Duel. So now I believe everyone has 3 Kagari to engage, regardless of where you play. So that's really cool. Unless one of them might maybe have like 3 engage. I don't think so. So yeah, 3 Kagari I think is a staple, and then 2 engage. Oh, my god, this deck is just amazing, and it's just gonna keep getting more and more support. And you better believe that the Link monsters, you know, Azalea and Camellia, are far from fair. They're very overpowered, especially in their own deck. They actually do like some extra things because, again, their name, they're Sky Striker monsters. You can break and you can just go like Mind Control, steal 2 monsters, and get your engine started from there. Just fantastic, honestly. I'm a big fan. And of course, Sprite Starter going from 3 to 2. This is not that big. Honestly, the deck is already very consistent, and you can live with only 1 less copy. Like, the other decks got nerfed way more, so I think Sprite is still a very, very good contender, honestly. But yeah, I feel like it's probably like an OCG employee who actually wrote this ban list, because usually in the TCG, we never get anything, you know, in the semi-limit section, right? We only get, like, Destiny Hero Malicious ever being in the semi-limit category. But usually, yeah, this is actually very weird, honestly, to get. Anyways, for the unlimits, so Blackwing Steam the Cloak, nobody cares. It's really bad, obviously. And then we got Gen X Ally Birdman. It used to be limited, and now it's a 3. Again, nobody cares. There is a few things that you might be able to do with it, but it's... I mean, it's only gimmicky bullshit, right? Otherwise, it's a really fair card that pretty much doesn't do anything degenerate, so nobody gives 2 flying fricks about Gen X Ally Birdman. I think it's because of the Divine Mist field spell or something. Anyway, Samsara Lotus used to be forbidden, and now it is no longer. I think you need, like, Phoenician Cluster Amaryllis if you want to do the infinite loop, so I don't think Samsara Lotus is that big. Maybe I'm missing something, but whatever. Spiral Quick Fix, nobody cares. We still need a Master Plan if we want this deck to become, like, back to being full power. So you can have all the quick fixes in the world, and it's never going to be enough. By the way, if you want to play a, you know, Remote Duel, Spiral is basically banned in Remote Duel. Even if it would be, like, full power elsewhere, it's still completely unplayable in Remote Duel because you can't really, like, show 3 cards from, you know, the top of your opponent's deck to you. What is your opponent gonna do? Yeah, bro, look at these cards, bro. I swear to God, I'm not looking. It doesn't work. Like, you can't go like drones, for example, and in order to, like, you know, check the 3 cards and you know, stack them in the order that you want. So yeah. Anyways, Lyrilusk Recital Starling. I think this is alright for Lyrilusk, but it's not, you know, that big. I mean, at 2 copies, it's pretty good. What was I gonna say? I think this deck might need... Oh, yeah, it's the Windbearer statue and Apex Avion. Sorry, no, not that. Simorg, the Link 3. So, yeah, that's the reason why Lyrilusk is just never going to be seeing play, because it's missing the most important aspects of the deck, actually. Anyways, Draco Face-Off used to be limited, and now it's a 3. That's pretty big, actually, for the Draco Slayer deck. So, Pendulums are actually extremely scary now. This card is... very insane. It's a quick play spell as well, so you can out anti-spell because you can special summon a monster, and then you can, I don't know, make like a, you know, a Link 2 that can out the anti-spell. So yeah, just quick play spells that are always, you know, appreciated for the deck. Definitely really nice, and the Draco Slayer monsters are better than ever now. And finally, we got Sky Striker Mecha Modules multi-roll. Used to be a 1, now it's a 3. The fact that it's a 3 is irrelevant because even at 3 copies, the correct ratio for this card is still only 2. If you play 3 multi-roll, you're straight up gonna brick. So yeah, don't go thinking that this is like as broken as this. Like engage is much better than, you know, like one extra copy of multi-roll. Like one extra engage, much better. Because now with one single engage, you can end on like Shizuku and to engage on end phase. If you're going second, of course. Well, actually, even if you're going first. So yeah, that's really cool. And apart from that, a lot to digest, of course. Kashtira only being like an Arisart control kind of deck. Mathmech didn't really change too much. Natsuru is really bad. Super Heavy Samurai as a deck is unplayable, but as an engine is pretty decent. Despia didn't really get nerfed too hard. What else are people playing? I don't really... There's not even that much diversity this format. Everybody's playing the exact same decks. It's, you know, an illusion of diversity. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm so sorry for being so tired, honestly, but don't worry, because starting tomorrow, I definitely will have more energy. Anyways, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.